Hello, today we're going to be doing add two numbers. You are given two non-empty linked lists, list 1 and list 2, where each represents a non-negative integer. These digits are stored in a reverse order. The numbers 3, 2, 1 is represented as 1, 2, 3 in the list. Each of these nodes contains a single digit. You may assume the two numbers do not contain any leading zero except the number 0 itself. So, for example, here, as you can see, they are adding basically 321 plus 654. The sum of that is basically 975, but you print that out backwards, so your output would be 579, right? To start this off, we are going to start with a dummy node because that is what we're going to return, right? We're going to return a node. So let's start by doing that. Every time that you are asked to output a node, it's basically asking you to make a dummy node that you have to connect. So this node and current is sitting on that node, right? So there are some test cases that we have to think about when looking at this question, right? For example, we have one right here. Let's do the addition like usual and see if we can find the case, right? You have 7, but then you run into this right here. 6 plus 4. You have to have a carry. You're going to carry this like regular basic addition, and then you're going to add basically the ones place. To find this, you're going to do the modulo of this value, right? And then you're going to then get this value. To get values from this type of list, you're going to have to add the carry on top of list 1 and list 2 to get 8, right? And another case here is if they don't have the same amount of nodes. As you can see, this one, list 2, has 4 nodes, and then list 1 has 3 nodes. In these type of cases, you just kind of think that anything that points to null is essentially just 0, right? That's how you think of it doing normal math. So let's code that out real quick. So we're going to have a carry, which is also 0. So while there's numbers in list 1 or list 2 or carry, right? We want to use or instead of and, right? Because if we did and in this case, we would eventually get the wrong answer because this can still go, right? Even though, say, for example, it would say that list 1 is null. And then it would just stop running the loop. But we could still keep on going the loop because we are thinking about this null as 0. So that's why we are doing or. So to get these values, right, to get the values of basically anything from list 1 or list 2, we are going to write this. So v1, meaning the value 1, is the value from list 1 if there is a value in list 1, else it's 0, right? That's basically this case right here. See, let's say L1 right here. If there is no value, then we will put it as 0. The same thing basically applies to value 2. Whoops. There you go. And to basically get these values, sorry, I should probably add these back together. Okay, there you go. To get the value of these, right, we just kind of add the carry, which is right here, list 1, the value of list 1, and value of list 2. So let's do that. So to get the value equals v1, value 1, value 2, plus the carry. To get the value of carry, right, let's say right here, right, 6 plus 4, we get 10. So we're going to do carry equals val divided by 10. So here, 10 divided by 10 will get you 1. So that's how we get that right here. And then to get that's getting the tens place, right? But then to get the ones place, you're going to do val equals val modulus 10, right? Because, for example, here, let's go again. 6 plus 4 is 10. And then the modulus of that would be 0, right? Because 10 divided by 10 is 0. Is 1 with no remainder. So that would give you the ones place. And then from here, we are going to point the current dot next, if I can spell, the current dot next to a new node, because there are cases, for example, let's just say this is, let's say 8, right, instead of 4, right? Then we would have to make another node for right here. So in those type of cases, we would point our new current, our current dot next to a new node with the value, right? And then in that case, we also have, after that, we have to update our pointers. So our current is going to equal current dot next, and then we will then keep on moving our pointers this way, first from L1 and for L2. So L1 equals L1 dot next if there is a value for L1, else it's just going to be nothing, right? It just points to nothing, for example. And the same thing applies for 2. And then we want to return the list, right? Is it asking return the sum of the list. So we are going to return dummy dot next. And there you go. Thank you guys for watching.